name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. Now, today I'm filming on a different phone because on Saturday I went away to Cambridge for the weekend with my friends from uni, and I had an unfortunate mishap when I was getting out of the punting boat and my phone dropped out of my pocket into the River Cam, where it remains. So luckily my mum had an old phone that she had lent me, but this is the first time that I am filming on it. So I might need to fiddle around a bit with the settings. I'm not 100% sure what the sound's going to be like when I upload and things like that. So please bear with if you think this video suddenly seems a bit different, because it is a little bit different. Now, I'm here today to talk to you about my second half of Me Made May. Now, the reason why I'm talking about it like that is because I had thought that this year was going to be the first year where I fully completed Me Made May, having never had really much success at all. I don't think I'd ever made it out the first week. And I was doing really well until the mishap with the phone. And that sort of threw me off my stride. And it's now half term, and so I've just sort of decided that I've learned the lesson I was going to learn from Me Made May. I'm still mixing up what I'm doing a bit, and I'll explain how I feel that this has sort of helped me in terms of my wardrobe, but I have not made it through the full month. So I made it until the 24th, so I was a week short. I did wear some nice outfits over the weekend, so I will tell you about them, but I do not have any photos because I did not have a phone. It is now the 28th. I am back on a phone. I've managed to get everything up and running again. It's been a stressful few days, but I thought I would have a go at vlogging. So first up, I'm going to mention, if you haven't watched it already, that I already made a video about the first half of Me Made May. I will try and remember to put a link below if you haven't seen that. And that basically went through the different outfits I was wearing each day and some of the lessons I had learned. Now, I haven't really learned any new lessons from that video, but I thought I would show you the outfits. The main things that have stood out for me are that I have more things than I realised. So I just need to be a bit more mindful about digging through my wardrobe before just going, oh, I need more dresses because it's suddenly hot or it's suddenly cold. And instead making sure that I'm really digging through to some of the things that may be hidden away at the back that I don't wear very much. And the other thing is to do with thinking a bit more about how things pair together. So there are quite a few things that I've made that I really like, but that I don't really have suitable things to wear them with. And in some ways, it might be that I need to think a bit more about, like, are these items that I really want to wear? But also it's about thinking before I make something about what it's going to go with. And that is something that Me Made May this year has really taught me, because I've had to think a little bit outside the box. And it's made me, realise that I need to focus more on plain fabrics. I have loads of beautiful prints. I have a stash full of lovely prints. But yes, I sort of lack garments in single colours. I especially could do with sort of some smarter things in block colours, as I've got some lovely blouses and things like that, but I've got nothing to wear them with. So that is the key thing I found out. Anyway, let me go through the outfits for the remaining days of Me Made May. So I'm going to start from the furthest day, which I think was day 12. I think I stopped at day 11 in the last video. So day 12 was a bit of a different day for me. It was a Monday, and I was attending a funeral. It wasn't, well, actually, no, it was a celebration of life. And the dress code was smart and colourful. And it was honestly really joyful. It was at a place, Pembroke Lodge in Richmond Park, which is absolutely beautiful. And everyone was wearing gorgeous bright clothes. It sort of felt like a wedding. It was not your average end of life celebration, but it was really, really lovely. And I had to go into work in the day, and then I had to sort of rush off to get to this service before it finished. And so I needed something that was work appropriate, but that also fit the dress code. And there was a dress I wanted to wear, which was a peony dress I made previously, which had a tear in it, which I'd attempted to fix but the fix didn't go well. Basically, I thought it was a tear in the centre of the bodice, but it was slightly off. So when I mended it, it looked a little bit strange. So I still have hopes for salvaging that dress because it's a great dress, but I need to think a little bit more about how to fix it well. So I ended up going to a favourite pattern of mine, the willow dress, and I pulled out a dress that I made for our honeymoon. I'll put a picture here. So this is in a Fabric Godmother exclusive print. It's like a viscose. It's very, very light with little flecks of lurex thread in it. It's got this beautiful print. The main thing I think with making a dress in this print is that you need to take the time to think about pattern placement. I had actually originally planned to make a peony dress with this, but I was under a deadline for the honeymoon and I just could not face cutting out 5,000 pieces with in this very slippery fabric, and where the print positioning was so important. So I ended up going for the willow dress by Cinnamon Daisy, which is just, it has fewer pieces and the construction's much simpler than the peony dress. And I love this. I wore it for our final night on our honeymoon for dinner, and it's just a lovely, lovely dress. And it worked really well, I think, for the occasion. It felt like a very sort of celebratory dress to wear to this celebration of life for a very lovely man. So yes, so that was my outfit on a Monday. It's not a typical Monday outfit, but I was glad to have options in the wardrobe. Luckily, a colourful dress code is one where I have options, so that was good. Then the next day in work, I wore a Fabric Godmother dress. Now this is the fleur pattern. I'll put a picture here. I have quite mixed feelings about this dress having worn it again. I made it in this really cool embroidered cotton that has watermelon and pineapple on, which was from my stash, and I made it, I think, for So Fruity last year. I think it was for So Fruity. And this is the one version of the fleur dress that I have made. Now, the fleur dress is obviously based on that Ganni bow front blouse. I don't think this suits me. I think I could adjust it to maybe suit me a little bit more. So I think the adjustments I can make would be elongating the bodice and then having more ties on the front. I ended up stitching partway up the front panel, which you're not supposed to do, but otherwise I just would never wear it because it would be indecent. But yeah, it's an interesting one because I think with the Aspen dress, Fabric Godmother dress, I found the bodice very, very long. And then in the fleur dress, I found the bodice really short. And I actually thought, so I am busty, so I do need to elongate bodices sometimes, even though I'm short in stature, but because I'm busty, often the waist comes up too high. But I did notice on the pictures of their models that I felt like where the waist sat on the curvier model was a bit higher than on the straight size model. So yeah, I mean, they're still fairly new to patterns, so I wonder if it's, and this was only their second one, so I do wonder if it's just like a bit of trial and error with the plus block. I find the Aspen generally a really good fit, apart from the fact that I find the waist very, very dropped on me. I take about 2 inches out and then it sits in a good place. So yes, so I wore this one and I didn't feel great in it. I did actually get a lot of compliments in it though. So some people liked it, but just something about the shaping is like not quite right. It feels a bit like sack-like. So I think if I made this again, I, as I said, would play around with the length of the bodice and things like that and just try and get the proportions right. The next day, I wore one of the first dresses that I ever made. I actually had 2 days in a row where I wore dresses that were really early dresses that I made. So I can't remember which one came first in terms of which one I made first. I think this dress was like the second dress that I made, and the next dress I'm going to show you after was the first dress I made. So this one is another by Hand London Tamsin. So I wore this on day one, and I made this out of a viscose fabric. I think it's like a twill that I bought from Rainbow Fabrics. Again, it was one of my first ever orders from Rainbow Fabrics. So it was all very early on, and I love this dress. I hadn't worn it for ages because it had a little tear. So Me Made May again got me to a point where I mended this tiny little tear, which took no time at all, and then I got to wear this again. The fabric has quite a lot of give, so I feel like it has a bit more of a relaxed fit than like my gingham Tamsin dresses did. I do love this pattern. I just think it's cute in cottagecore. I think because the fabric is a dark base, this one's really appropriate for work. I love the square neckline. And also because of the fabric is a viscose twill, so it works on like a sunny day, but it actually has a little bit of a weight to it. So I could wear this through into autumn with tights or whatever, and it would be fine. So yeah, it was nice to wear that again, and that's now hanging up in the wardrobe, ready for its next outing. And then the next dress I made, which is one of the earliest dresses I ever made, is this one. It's a Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress. I had to extend this because I was just over. This one's not been. It's not in the extended size range, so I was like just over the size range. So I extended this myself at the time. I used very unscientific methods, but it seemed to work. It is absolutely terribly made. I'm not going to lie to you. It is horribly made. The inside of it is a mess, but I still think the dress looks nice. I have very fond memories of the first time I wore this out and about, and it was the first time I took like actual nice photos of a garment I'd made rather than just selfies. And it was COVID times, and me and my friend Katie had gone to Hampton Court Palace just to walk around the gardens, which you could do at that time. So it was when you could be outside with other people, sort of thing. And we had sort of a photo shoot around the gardens, and it was just so nice to be outside, and I felt lovely in my swishy dress. I actually had this fabric in a different colourway, in like a raspberry colourway. So, and I really hunted that fabric down, because when I bought this version of the fabric, the raspberry colour was the one I wanted, and it was sold out everywhere. And then I randomly came across some in a shop in Brighton like years later, and it felt like fate. So I have that in my stash. But yeah, I have very fond memories of this dress, even if it is terribly made. I just think it's a really nice dress. So yeah, I haven't seen loads of Lotus on my timeline actually. I think maybe because they haven't extended the sizing. But I've not seen lots of straight sized ones recently either. Anyway, the next day was another Gilbert shirt. This is a favourite pattern of mine, a Helen's Closet Gilbert shirt. I also made this for our honeymoon. This in another fabric on Mother Fabric. So this was in a sort of 80s style fruit print. It was the tie-up version. Again, I just really love the pattern. I used these really cute fruity buttons from the Edit by Narissa, who has a really great collection of like little cute themed haberdashery and fabrics and things. And it's just a really cute shirt. I wore it into a theatre group rehearsal, and one of the girls was like, "Oh my gosh, I love the buttons on your shirt." So yeah, some people notice the details, which is nice. I've said before, Gilbert shirt is, I've got 3 or 4 in my wardrobe, and come the summer, I just find it one of those really easy patterns to wear. It's pretty casual. Like I probably wouldn't wear it into school with the tie front version anyway, but it's just a great day-to-day summer pattern. Then I wore 2 me mades together that do not get worn enough. So one is a skirt. You can't see it especially well in this picture, but I'll try and find another picture of it before so that you can see it. This is the Estella skirt from the Estella set by Paper Cut Patterns. I made it with a matching top. I don't know where the top is. No idea. But I wore the skirt, and I actually find it's a really simple skirt shape, like rectangle skirt with a ruffle. But I just find it just looks nice. Just really nice and simple. Again, a great dress down sort of skirt for the summer. And I paired it with this top, which the name of the pattern has escaped me for 1 second. It is the Cashmerette Montrose top. And I think it's just a really nice, simple woven top. I adjusted it slightly to make it cropped because I thought that silhouette worked better with other things that I wore. I've worn it before with like high-waisted culottes as well. And I think the crop length is really nice actually. And the other adaptation I made that you can't really see in this picture is I made the back of the neckline. I think normally it's a loop and button, and I just extended the binding and made it into like a little bow, which I thought was cute. And the fabric is a really nice light linen. Again, I might be able to get away with wearing this top at work. But I just think on a really hot day, it's like lovely, simple. The shade, I would say, is a touch lighter than suits me. It's a really, really pale purple. But I think the combo of the sort of purple, dark purple gingham and the light purple top worked. So that's nice. So yes, and then we have 6 more outfits to go before everything fell in the river. So one is another thing that I made for our honeymoon, and it is a true bias pattern, the Dala jumpsuit. So I'll pop it here. It's in this amazing slub viscose fabric. So it sort of has like a linen-y texture. They just had a sale. It's from First for Fabrics. They just had a sale, and they were selling it for $3.50 a meter. So I bought it a while ago, so it was a little bit more, but it was always quite reasonably priced. And I love the fuchsia colour. I love it. I don't, for this jumpsuit, I love how the bottom part fits. It's really loose fitting. Around the top, it's like the bra coverage isn't great if you tend to wear like a larger cup size bra, in that it goes straight across and has these thin straps. So you get that like triangle bit here where the straps go up. But again, I find it a super comfortable pattern to wear around on a hot day. I wore this on one of the sort of heat wave days, swanning around the house, and I had a great time. I really, really felt good and comfortable and cool in it. And I'm wearing it in this picture with my So Over It Sorrento denim jacket. This is one of my favourite makes because it's so classic. I wear it all the time. No one ever believes that it's a me made. It's not the most imaginative thing I've ever made, but it is like just, you know, when I was bought ready to wear clothes, a really perfect denim jacket is one of those things I struggle to find in good size range. And now I've been able to make like a really classic, beautiful denim jacket that just goes with everything. So I paired that with the jumpsuit, and I'm really, really pleased with how that combination looks. I love that like really bright pink with the blue. I think it looks really nice. And wearing this jumpsuit actually reminded me how much I love wearing bright pink. I just think I feel really good in it, so need to wear more bright pink. Next up, I have a classic work outfit. I think this must have been a Monday, and I think the weather, we'd had like quite a few sunny days, and then suddenly it was a bit cooler, and so I had to change my plan from a very summery outfit I picked out. And so I wore this dress, which is a real standard dress for me. I wear it loads, especially during the autumn and winter. It is the So DIY Lou Box Dress 2, which is a really versatile pattern. The fabric here is like a textured knit fabric, which I purchased from Fabrics Galore. And I purposely made this dress last winter because I wanted something that wasn't going to be really, really creased. And this dress is perfect for that because it basically doesn't crease at all, so you can just throw it on. Really simple silhouette, nice fabric, not much to say. It's just a great sort of workhorse dress, and it's great to wear for work, good coverage. I would like a fuller skirt, I think, so if I did one again, I might just add a little bit of volume to the skirt, but that's my personal preference. Then the sun came out a bit, and so the next day I wore a Tilly and the Buttons lyra dress. So I used to make loads of lyras. I was the pattern, the curve model for the pattern, and I love this pattern. I would say that I made a lot of them at a point where I wasn't great with fitting. And so I think I probably need to revisit this pattern with some more of my knowledge and get a better fit. Because with this one, with the bodice, I never quite got the button placements right, which meant there was always the hint of a flash. Just a flash here, a flash there. But it was nice to wear it again, and I definitely want to make more. So this is a nice gingham version. I went for the short sleeves rather than the longer sort of billowy sleeves. And this again is like a favourite summer dress. You can't go wrong with green gingham, can you? It's got pockets. It's got a lovely collar. It's just a great pattern. So I wore this into work. And again, whenever I wear this, everyone's like, oh, I love your dress. So people love the gingham. They really do. The next day, I pulled a pattern that I'd completely forgotten about out of my drawers. And it is another Tilly and the Buttons pattern. And it is the pearl cardigan. Now this one is less of a cardigan. It's more of a wrap top because it's made out of like a jersey rather than like a cardigan-y sweat fabric. And the main reason I don't wear this much is because I don't really have anything to wear it with. And it technically, I wore it to work. It's on the edge of being appropriate for work, in that it's fine when it's on, but because it's a wrap top, it can just like slip around a bit and just then end up being a bit low cut. So I had to keep a really, really close eye on it, and it was fine. But what I would love is to have more of those sorts of tops that I could put over a dress, because I've got some nice sleeveless dresses that I couldn't wear to work, but with a little wrap top over the top would be really nice. And so I think this one is in a gorgeous fabric, and I think I now do probably have a couple of things I could wear it with. But I think if I made one in like a plain navy jersey or knit fabric, then that will be something that would be much more versatile to go with the rest of my wardrobe, especially going into like the autumn and stuff. So reminding me of that top, because I think the fit of it is really nice, has given me a bit of focus as to something, a really useful workhorse piece I could make going into the colder seasons eventually. So I really enjoyed wearing this, and I'm wearing it with a skirt that I made, just a gathered elastic plissé skirt, very simple. And yeah, I like this outfit too. Then I went all out. I wore lemons. It was a Thursday, I remember, because I went to school and everyone was like, "Ooh, lemons." This is a deer and doe pattern, the myosotis dress. Quite a few people have said to me they didn't realise the sizing was extended for this. So they really did not publicise that well. I don't know why, because it's such a popular pattern. And I think, again, with this one, I think for it to be the perfect fit for me, I just slightly need to lower the waist, because it hits under the bust, but like not fully where the bust goes in. So there's a hint of a lemony tint about it, but it's still nice. And I just felt, I actually looked on my grid for Me May, and I thought, I'm missing some yellow. Doesn't look as bright as I'd like. I need to find something yellow. And there was my lemony myosotis. This is the first deer and doe pattern I've made. I have a few in my stash. There's been some stuff going on since they were taken over. So I think, like, do your own research and make decisions on which countries you want to interact, which companies you want to interact with, and which ones you don't, based on, it's just been the approach to the extended size range since they were taken over. My experience of this pattern is the drafting is quite tricky to get your head around. I had to really dig to work out what cup size their plus range was drafted for, and then eventually I found that it was drafted for a C/D, and I'm like, but those are different things. So I just sort of had to guess with the full bust adjustment, and I don't think it was quite right. I think I needed like maybe half an inch more. Yeah, there was like something funny going on around the neckline. But I love this dress anyway. And again, it got loads of compliments, and I felt like a little sunbeam going around all day. So it was nice. I think I have a tendency in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll not feel great, and I'll not want to stick out. So sometimes I just don't want to wear the really bold stuff. And actually it's been nice to just be like a little sunbeam at work on occasion. So no, I loved wearing that. Then on the Friday, so the day before I went to Cambridge and dropped my phone in the river, I was actually wearing this jumper. So here is a picture of me in it. I made this. This is a unisex pattern. It's one of the big 4 patterns. I cannot remember the pattern number, so I will find out what that is and put it on the screen with this. I made it a while ago. I just wanted a really oversized hoodie, so I made the biggest size in the unisex pattern, and it is a great big snuggly hoodie. It's sort of gradually tearing apart, like it's ripped here at the neckline, but I feel like that could look purposeful. And the fabric doesn't fray, so this is my lounging around hoodie. So yes, I wanted to show that I'm not the sort of person who's going to get super glammed up if I'm just sitting at home doing housework or garden work all day. So I just wanted to be realistic about what I was wearing. I definitely think there's a gap in my clothes between going out and looking nice and then staying in and being a complete slob. So I think I could do with some elevated homeware. So that is a gap in my wardrobe. And also plains, as I said, so that I can like pair things together with a bit more intention. It has been such a good exercise because it has made me so much more aware of what I actually have in my wardrobe, and of making a point of making conscious decisions of what to wear, rather than just putting on the same 2 dresses, every other day. So I found it a really useful exercise, even if I didn't make it through the whole month. Now, some of the dresses that I wore for the rest of the weekend, I re-wore a dress from our honeymoon. So I'll put a picture of it on the honeymoon here because I couldn't take a picture because I didn't have a phone. This is a cashmere Upton dress or bodice, and then a self-drafted skirt. And the fabric is a Dolce & Gabbana dead stock cotton from Selvage and Bolts. Again, I felt a bit overdressed because I wore this for dinner and I knew everyone else would be wearing sort of normal clothes because it wasn't even that sunny. But I thought, you know what? It's a nice dress and I want to wear it. So I did. I wore it out for dinner. I didn't spill anything down it. Hooray. Great. Felt really lovely in it. And also a new dress that I don't have a picture of, but I'm going to take a picture this week, which is a Fabric Godmother Aspen dress again. I made it in a chambray fabric. I love my strawberry one, but I wanted one that was a little bit more like day to day, so I didn't have to worry so much about spilling something down it. And that was maybe a bit more cash. So I made that, sewed it up really quickly, and I know it's going to be a real workhorse dress in my wardrobe because it's one that I can really just chuck on whether I'm at home or going out. So I'm starting. Do you know what? That's me already starting, filling in that gap, and also it's in a plain fabric. A plain fabric, so it can go with other things if needed. So yes, so for this week I'm mostly just around the house, so I'm wearing things like this and I'm out in the garden and I'm, you know, sorting things out. I've got a delivery coming tomorrow of a couple of plain fabrics, and I've got a couple of bits and bobs to show you, and I was going to talk a bit more about my aspen and about some garden updates. A few people said they'd like to see a few more. I'll make it so that you can skip it in case you don't want to see them, because I know everyone's not interested in seeing what plants I have and haven't killed this week. But yeah, I just thought I would give you an update on sort of where I'm at the end of Me Made May. Even though I didn't get all the way through, I'm counting this as a success because it has really clarified a lot of things for me. It's made me think twice when I've been about to buy certain things and I've thought, hang on, look at all the things you've got in your stash. Think about the things you've already got in your wardrobe and just be a bit more mindful about it. So it's definitely given me food for thought. And yeah, I think I'll have another go. Maybe I'll have another go next year. Don't know, with a different challenge. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. How did you get on with Me Made May? What challenges did you set yourself? Please let me know below. I'd love to hear what you've been doing. And I'll see you soon. All right, bye.